Boruto could indeed be going through its own Land of Waves arc with its own Demon of the Mist. So today we're going to be talking about some Boruto anime spoilers that have recently come out. I like to avoid talking about these as often as possible because it takes away my excitement a little bit. I like to be surprised. Now in the next episode, Boruto and his classmates will be taking a trip to Kirikagure, right? The village hidden in the mist. This village was once home, by the way, to several Naruto villains, including the first major opponent in the series, Zabuza, and also one of our favorite Akatsuki members, Kisame. Now our boy Kisame was a savage. He'd kill his own teammates to make sure that they wouldn't be captured. He even got devoured by his own sharks, right? He lasted for a very long time. Well, we'll be expanding that family line. We'll be seeing another Hoshigaki in this arc, and that excites the hell out of me, especially if this is going to be a long arc, because we know he's going to be playing an antagonistic role. Back to the point, Boruto, Mitsuki, Sarada, and I'm assuming a lot of other kids will be going to the Land of Water, and they're genuinely surprised. Their guide tells them that at one point in time, this village was called the Village of the Bloody Mist. And why was it called that? Because there was a lot of blood under the rug. One of the big traits, one of the big hallmark traits of this village is how they savagely raised their kids. Their students would kill one another, right? They would kill one another until there was one person left. And keep in mind, that's the process that Zabuza went through to, I guess, start achieving that savage status that he achieved. And they did this so that, I guess, the kids would develop and mature very quickly. Now, we live in a different world today. That's not needed, but it probably surprises the hell out of them because they see this beautiful, clean village and they could never imagine something like that taking place. And keep in mind, a lot of the people that were raised up with those ways, those bloody ways, they probably aren't in high positions of power. So you've got a lot of people that weren't raised in that system, growing up right now, and you also got the people in control of the village. They aren't like that. So, maybe it's kind of like in the shadows, a lot of these people that once existed or were once raised in that system. All these kids visiting the village, they're not going to see that on site because it's not out there in the open. And keep in mind, you guys saw how much the Hidden Leaf Village changed in the span of like a decade. Well, it's not surprising to me if other villages developed that same way. And keep in mind, we haven't seen all the other villages just yet, but we will be. And that really excites me because we never really visited the Hidden Mist Village like that and spent a lot of time throughout Part 1 or Part 2 really delving deep into that village and that culture and those shinobi, and that's what excites me. Like, who knows? Maybe we might even see a Momochi, right? If we see another Hoshigaki, who's to say there aren't other people related to some of our favorite characters in this village? Now, according to these spoilers, there are Mist Ninja who aren't satisfied with the current state of their village and this growth and this progress, and I'm guessing that the new Hoshigaki that we see in the scan is going to be that person, or at least one of those people, and maybe he'll even have other people with his same mentality. This really reminds me of that Anbu Hinoko that was introduced in Shikamaru Hiden, where we basically had to retrieve Sai, who got captured, right, by Gengo, and basically she was like 14 years old, she was super skilled, I mean, she had some amazing abilities, but she lived in a world where her abilities were not really needed like that, right? And so she was sort of dissatisfied with the current state of things. So some of these shinobis who have amazing powers, who, eat the scraps with everybody else, who doesn't have these amazing powers and abilities and talents, again, they kind of feel left out in a way. So this is a common reoccurring thing we're seeing in many different places, not only the Bloody Mist or the former Bloody Mist village. Apparently his name is Shizuma, and I'm very curious to see to what extent did he know Kisame, and if there's other members and other details of the Hoshigaki clan that we do not know of again, right? But he longs for the good old days of the Village of the Blood Fog, which means that he misses the time when you'd kill like your best friend, you'd extinguish the rest of your class in a fight, and man, I really hope they put some reason into this. They actually stay consistent, right? They don't just write this character like Shin Uchiha, who became obsessed with Itachi, and everything that he did was just like a mere copy, and it was lame, it was pathetic. Even his Mangekyo Sharingan abilities were really random. He could like control weapons magnetically. Then again, we'll see what they'll do with this character. I still have hope, and I feel like the story just gets better and better as time goes on, so I could expect the quality to increase. Then again, we know his abilities will revolve around swords to some degree, right? Because this whole arc to some degree is going to be revolved around swordsmanship. I mean, the new Mizukage is Chojuro, and his style is sword, so I'm guessing that trickles down, and probably a lot of cats will be inspired to do the very same thing, or to be like Chojuro one day. Now, we know by episode 26, Boruto and his classmates will be in the Hidden Mist Village, right? Kagura's their guide. We actually see him in the preview. I actually really do like his character design. It looks like he could have a very dark backstory based off of the scar on his face, and Chojuro's going to be involved. He's going to be guiding them as well as Kagura. Kagura is more so closer to their age, so I think he's going to be the most involved, but Chojuro's going to oversee it, and it almost feels like somewhat of a political trip to promote relations between the villages. Like, kids from the Mist Village will be visiting the Hidden Lee Village, and kids from the Hidden Lee Village will be visiting the Hidden Mist Village, right? Now, apparently they'll be in some school, there's going to be a lot of students, it's going to be a lot of, like, fights, I'm guessing, with other kids their age, so it's going to be, like, Hidden Leaf Ninja versus Hidden Mist Village Ninja, like, you know, kids around their age fighting each other. And to be honest with you, some of it sounds exciting, some of it doesn't, right? I'm hoping the arc does take a unique spin, some crazy things pop off, and it actually turns like really dark, because, you know, how dark could like Ninja Academy stuff really be? Especially since it's no longer the Bloody Mist Village where you'd have them kill each other, right? It'd be a fight till the death. Now, Chojuro suggests that we have a sparring match between Boruto and Kagura, and I don't know, man, that sounds like it could get pretty heated, and honestly, like, Boruto is exceptionally gifted, so even though Kagura's probably got some age on him, I don't know, man, it could be a close one. Boruto could even be superior to someone who's his guide, right? Who seems like he's a bit older than a lot of these other kids. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I know you might hate me for this, but I'd love to see Boruto get his ass stomped, because it honestly feels like nothing could touch Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki, because they all got these crazy roots, and they're overpowered, and nothing can threaten these next generation kids. But what if they're overhyped, they're overrated, and there are shinobi in other villages that we haven't been introduced to yet, that regardless of the Sharingan, that regardless of that Uzumaki blood and, you know, the Jugan that's eventually going to appear in Boruto's eye socket, there's shinobis with Kekkei Genkai, with skills that rival even those abilities, and we could actually have some competition, because at the moment it feels like ain't nothing touching some of these Leaf kids, and I don't like that, to be honest, because it takes away from like the suspense factor, right? Like, is anything bad gonna happen to these kids? Well, you gotta throw something crazy at them. I mean, Boruto, for instance, took out a god in Boruto Naruto the movie, granted with help, but he still had that exposure. So what could rival and challenge these brats? Well, we'll see what the studios pull, we'll see how they write this arc, we'll see the consistency of things, we'll see if this could actually rival the Land of Waves arc with Tazuna the Bridge Builder and Kakashi and Team 7, and them originally going on like a B rank mission or a C rank mission, and it ended up being like an S rank mission, right? Where Zabuza, this killer, and his underling Haku attack, right? And then there was 2 fights. We'll see if this arc could rival that, because I know a lot of people are like, Double Four, you're overhyping this. This is probably nothing serious. It's going to be like 3 or 4 episodes and that's it. It's not going to be like a full giant epic arc. It just feels like they're trying to repeat that arc, and they're trying to do it for a reason. I don't see them messing this up, because it seems like they're actually going to place some expectations on this. Now, episode 27 spoilers read, Hachiya, who used to go to the academy with Kagura, kidnaps Denki. Yes, Denki gets freaking kidnapped, bro, in order to lure Boruto and the rest. To save Denki, Boruto and Kagura tries to follow Hachiya, or try to follow Hachiya, but a large number of his fellow ninja gathers and attacks all at once. At that moment, Kagura reveals the truth behind a surprising fact. Poor Denki, like, Denki's just getting abused. At the very least, he's in the series. I thought they were going to kill him off, or, again, because we don't see him in Boruto Naruto in the movie, so I thought something would have to happen to him.